there's a reason that there is 5 of us up on stage here, because I think Brian's right in what he said. For too long, product management in Liferay lived on Google research. They didn't want to talk to customers, they didn't want to talk to the community. And it's really, really important that we interact with you guys. You're at the coalface, you know what the product gaps are better than we do, and we need that insight from you. So we're up here, and we're representing the whole product team. There's 20 plus product managers now in Liferay, and we want you to know who we are, and we want you to interact with us, to tell us what those gaps are, and to improve the product. So let's get started. Like we all know, Liferay started out as being a platform to build your custom solutions on. That's why all of you probably chose to use Liferay. It gave you that flexibility to solve the complex problems that you couldn't do elsewhere. And that still is what we are today, and how we describe that, how we communicate that does change, but that's always at the core of what we are. That's our main USP. But it is becoming a challenge to achieve that. Like what customers want is changing. We need to evolve with that, or we're going to be left behind. And as product, and what we're hearing now in feedback from you guys is some core challenges that we're looking to address. So first off, customizations are always needed in Liferay. We're not providing turnkey solutions. We're never going to provide turnkey solutions. But what we are is a really good choice where you have complex use cases, complex problems. And that's going to require customizations. But the reality is, like, Liferay is great that customizations are possible, but that doesn't mean customizations are easy. They're difficult, they're quite invasive, and then they're hard to maintain. Like, hands up, who loves upgrading Liferay versions? So now we all know who the masochists in the room are. Yeah. But yeah, it is expensive. And like sometimes it is easier just to, just scrap that project and start again from scratch. And that's not a sustainable way to be. And another big problem with that, those customizations being so sort of difficult and deep, is that you can't apply that to multiple other projects. So if you have other customers looking for similar things, it's actually hard to apply those customizations elsewhere. And that lack of portability of them is seen as a big drawback for us, and it holds us back in a number of areas. So they're simple things, and we've fixed them all, and I'm going to hand over now to the rest of the team to explain how we fixed everything.
So regarding our product strategy, we used to tell about it, like you're seeing here, like with 3 main pillars. Right now, we are focusing on specific solutions. I will get in a minute to what that means. We are improving the developer experience by reinforcing our low-code and no-code features, and also through the new paradigm of client extensions and also the marketplace help. And we are also working on have a better release reliability with a new launch framework that we will be explaining hereafter. So what does focus on specific solutions means? Bernard? What does it mean? So, as Bernard just said, the Liferay is a well-known product for being that fully customizable, flexible platform. You can build your solutions on top. And that's not going to change. These endless solutions is not going to change. And the new paradigm on client extensions will enable you to keep doing so. So what we mean when we say we are focusing on specific solutions is that we, as a product team, will have it easier to think about what our customers and users need in order to build the main use cases we are seeing among our customers, which are under the B2C, B2B, and B2E areas. We are not abandoning any of these areas. We will be focusing on these solutions. They're not few, there are a few, I mean. So under the B2C, we'll be keep working on digital commerce, customer support, self-service use cases. B2B, all about supply chain, distribution, agent portal, supplier portals. And under the B2E, all about digital workplace and HR, empowering people to communicate, and so on. So thinking about these specific solutions enable us to narrow down the scope of the main use cases we want to enable in the product that we are addressing first. And that will allow us to connect the dots. That means when we are thinking about what you need for your solutions, we are trying to keep it simpler, but also complete, in the sense that you will find what you need, reducing the time to value to build these solutions. We are also leveraging the power of the new marketplace, so you would find the connectors, the accelerators, the client extensions you need to complete all these solutions. So this is how we are working now, by thinking about the main use cases and completing these solutions for you.
Okay, so about how we are improving the developer experience in order to help you all. We've been working on a new architecture, okay, for extensibility. As Bernard said, customizations it's one of our strengths. We are an open source company, so you have the source code available, you can do whatever you want, but also it's one of our weaknesses, that as you can do whatever you want, when it comes to upgrades, some things might not be that easy. So we are still keeping that, but we are trying to inform you and make it clear where it's safe for you to customize or extend the product, and where it's might not be that safe, but it's still possible. So the first layer is what we call the standard core, or where the core Liferay capabilities are. So our CMS capabilities, DAM, commerce, all that will stay the same. We will keep evolving the product, adding new features, and so on. But then when it comes to get the platform and build your solution, or tailor to your solution, we are providing 2 layers to customize. The first one is the low code, or the configurations. So here we will have all the object framework and all the objects capabilities that we are building, and also, for example, the page builder as well, with all the fragments and that features that will allow you to build your solution. And then if that's not enough to get to your business requirements, we are investing heavily on the extensions to be able to, in the end, fully customize the platform and get your final solution. And so talking a little bit about client extensions, you've heard maybe many times, so let's try to explain a little bit if you don't know yet. So the client extensions is the new extension paradigm that will allow you to be able to add new capabilities or customize the current capabilities without overriding the core. Okay, so it's decoupling what we do from what you do in order to be more stable and future-proof. And this client extension paradigm mainly, it's not just for LXC or the cloud. You can use it, and we do recommend to use it even on premise, or on LXC SM, or even LXC, because it will help you on your upgrades and keeping your maintenance cost lower. We do have different types of client extensions, so it's not attached to a given technology. We do have front-end client extensions where you will need to use CSS or JavaScript. It can be microservices client extensions, so maybe write your application on Spring Boot or any other technology. Some of them are just configuration files, some JSONs, or even the batch client extension that will help you move data, for example, from one instance to another. if you want to know a lot more about client extensions, today we have one talk from Greg and Ilian to tell you about the basics of client extensions. Then tomorrow, Igor, Salt, and Ben will have another talk where they will go deeper and talk a little bit about client extensions. And even if you want to go hands-on, tomorrow there is a workshop from Greg and Ray, where you probably will be able to even develop your client extension. So I welcome you, and I recommend you to try to go to those talks if you're interested in customizations and extensibility of Liferay. And now about the rest.
Thank you, Pablo. So as part of the new architecture, I'll be talking a little bit today about the low-code realm of it. And to start the conversation today, I want to talk about, of course, objects. So I want to share a little story here today. I kind of became an internal joke in the product team because every single type of problem that appears for us was like, do you ever try objects? So Bernard loves that. So we have a budget problems. Have you tried objects? So we're always trying to understand, and I truly believe in the power of objects in the transformation that we are passing right now. And that happens because objects, it's not only the framework that we want to empower you to build final solutions, but as we are evolving our own product. So we are creating a product the same way that you're creating final solutions, in a way that you can extend in the same way that you're creating, which becomes easier, right? So later today, me and Gabriel, our tech lead, will have a talk. So feel free to join us. It will be very nice to have you there. And I would like to highlight some of the new features that we delivered recently. Some of them are more core related to data modeling. I would like to highlight like new actions, new custom validations through low code, and also the new state manager. The new state manager is basically a way to to manage the data state transitions of object data. To support more B2B use cases, we introduced the new accounts data restriction, which basically allows you to restrict the access of data based on accounts and complex organization structures. Making the dots here, the connections with the client extensions as well, we do support two types of client extensions inside of objects. The first one is the notification type. And we do support out of the box two types of notifications. The first one is the email notification and DXP notifications, but you can have your own client extensions to have, I don't know, maybe WhatsApp, Slack, notifications would be, like it allows you to have much more power and adapt your business case. And you also have the client extension support for actions, where you can have your custom actions to automate some of the process that you have when your data is being managed. And also, with the help of the headless team, we enhanced the headless layer of objects that are auto-generated, and now we do support more complex use case related to nested objects. But it's not all about objects. So it's important because objects is inside of our data modeling. A lot of people always connect objects with the low code in Liferay, but we do have a bunch of other tools related to low code. And one of the most important of them that you guys already know is the page builder. And the page builder, it's a major tool that we have in Liferay that we are kind of changing a little bit the way we look at it as the unique way of building experiences on top of Liferay. And one of the ways that we are doing this, it's, Mateo is going to be talking later today about it, is the improvements that we have done on how to use pages to create experiences on top of object structures. And this is only possible because of the new form containers, the new set of form fragments that we introduced. So you can directly, in a page, create those experiences, and this data will be persisted in objects database. But if you just want to display data, you can also do that with objects at the moment, because this happens with, when you publish an object, automatically generated collection provider is created for you, so you can create experiences that you can do with web content and with blogs, for example. But okay, it's not all about objects. The page builder, it's also a very powerful tool that we have for allowing you to extend other types of experiences. And one of them that we're calling utility pages, that are basically secondary navigation pages provided by Liferay that you can now, only through drag and drop, only through low code, only through fragments, you can extend them and match your business use cases. And Julia will be later today talking about the 404 pages and how can you override them to match those customers' use cases. And doing the connection again with client extensions, we added a support for client extensions for Liferay themes, allowing you to have more extensibility there as well. So all of those tools, low code, client extensions, these made Liferay more portable. And by making Liferay more portable, making the solutions that you're creating on top of Liferay more portable, we're actually enabling marketplace, where you guys can and please should contribute in adding your solutions that you're creating on top of Liferay in marketplace and making it available for the entire community on making sure that everyone has visibility on the solutions that you guys are creating on top of Liferay. And that's enabled by this new portability that's enabled by the new architecture.
Thanks, Luis. Oh, you can do it. And now, last but not least, we are reviewing or we are improving the way we add value to both the community and our customers. And please go ahead, Luis. When I joined Liferay a year and a half ago, more or less, right by the time that Brian was actually pushing towards the weekly releases. And at the beginning, it seemed like a big challenge for us that we came from the old model in which we were generating releases every once in a while, etc. But it actually happened faster than probably we all expected, and we achieved our purpose of delivering value with more speed and more often so that everybody could have access to everything that we were doing in a more frequent basis. But on the other side, and as you all know, we generated a challenge when it comes to upgrading to those weekly versions. So how do we keep the speed and how do we keep providing value on a weekly basis, but have a more confident way of upgrading for customers that at the end of the day, they are seeking a little bit more stability. They don't care about that much about the speed. And we keep both things at the same time. So what we are doing, and actually we will start in this in Q3, we will be moving towards a quarterly release cycle in which customers will be able to have these quarterly release versions available, and we will be supporting this for a year so that wherever there's a fix that needs to be done, these quarterly releases would be actually updated with these fixes so that there's no need to upgrade to the latest version every time there's a need for that. But importantly, we will be keeping the weekly updates. So the community will have access to the latest features that we add on a weekly basis. That won't change, so you will have access to everything that we do basically week by week, okay? So please, next. As you can see, we are working towards consolidating stability without losing the speed that we achieved this last year. And also, this is also important for us, the quarterly releases allows us to communicate to the outside world better because it allows us to concentrate value. It's not the same to communicate scattered features around the product that communicating everything that has been done inside a quarter in a much more effective way, okay? What we are doing also is, and you might have seen that in the product lately, we've reviewed our feature flags approach so that we can use them also for released features. In order to provide also a better adoption for you guys to these features, we are reviewing also our internal documentation process to be faster, but in the meanwhile we release a feature while the documentation is being generated, we will keep it under a release flag until it's documented, so that people, when you want to make that feature available, you make sure that they have the documentation accessible. You can check out how it works. You can double check before actually having it available in the product, etc. And when you think you're ready, you just go to the feature flag and activate it, and it will just appear, okay? instead of just having it out of the box on a week-by-week basis. And finally, and you might have seen that it's already, we released this at the end of Q1, we finally have beta features available in the product. From product, we are using these beta features to validate from the business perspective that the solutions that we have drafted and defined and implemented actually resolve the problem that were designed for in a better way, and it allows us to iterate in case it's needed, in case features need fine-tuning, in case features need some adjustments to better resolve the problems they were defined for, and with that flexibility in the context of an appropriate framework to have that flexibility to adjust if needed, okay? We have specific channels to provide feedback on beta features, I think in the community Slack, also in the new Ask portal, you have a section with beta features so that you can provide feedback on that. Actually, we have a new, it's in here. You can see there's a new UI to activate both release features and beta features. With a simple toggle, you don't need to go to portal properties anymore and do and contribute to that. So it's much easier. We added descriptions to those so that you more or less have a hint of what these new features do. And we tried to make it as easy as possible so that you guys can actually try on new features that are already in the product while we document them and add them to a quarterly release. Once we know that everything is documented and in place, we will be adding them to quarterly releases as out of the box, and then will be generally available for everybody. Well, that was all for this first session. As key takeaways, we wanted to, if you had to keep 3 things in mind, first of all, the extensibility paradigm is changing. We encourage you guys to try and adopt the new approach of client extensions that will guarantee that whatever you do remains stable and compatible with the evolution of Liferay. We need to evolve, obviously, that's easy to understand. And the way to keep those customizations and everything you do as a community compatible with whatever we do is this new approach. So we encourage you guys to adopt it. As Brian was saying before, the faster you adopt it, the faster we receive feedback, the faster we improve it, and the faster we make it much better for everybody. So it's important for us that you guys also work with that and provide us with all of that feedback. Second, leveraging the marketplace in order to share whatever you do with the community. We're a big community and we have to leverage that community effect to make Liferay better, provide more solutions, and take it to the next level. And again, more stable quarterly releases so that in case you need trust, you can actually point to those quarterly releases without losing the speed that we already have in terms of weekly updates and providing value on a weekly basis. And that was all. One thing, in the session this evening, we will be giving you insights on what we are actually working on to be added to the product in the next few weeks and months. So hope to see you all later to see what we're actually doing. Thanks.